So Ravensburger has come out with 2 new formats that are sure to shake up the game in a great way. What are those 2 formats, and what can you expect with that becoming a reality? All of that and more, let's dive into right now. This is a pretty big surprise. We've had a lot of really cool shakeups coming, especially with Reign of Jafar, the Fables announcements, who's all going to be coming into the game now with Goofy Movie, Gargoyles, all that jazz. We've had a lot of announcements over these past couple of days, and at the same time, too, it's been insane because now Ravensburger is coming in and saying, hey, by the way, guys, we got 2 new formats that are going to be coming as well that are going to be some pretty exciting side events. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. Now, firstly, of course, this is going to be the new format is called Super Sealed. And it's going to be really interesting because what it ends up doing is you get 4 Shimmering Skies, 4 Azurite Sea, 4 Arcasia Islands, and 4 Reign of Jafar booster packs. You then take your time. You have 60 minutes to create a 3-ink, color-restricted 50-card sealed deck. Now, of course, players are allowed to change their cards in their decks between games and in their match so long as they are within the initially submitted ink color trio from their original pool of cards. These cards are referred to as their player's sideboard. Players must also revert their deck back to the initially submitted deck list after each round before the start of next match. And this is going to be really interesting because we did see also a, screen leak essentially of the new website that they had been developing where there was a sideboard type thing. And of course, people in the community were freaking out because, oh no, we're adding sideboards to the game and that's going to completely shape up the meta and all this shenanigans. And yeah, probably maybe that's going to be happening down the line. But this also might even be an initial way to even test how that is going to go. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to be. I absolutely love the drafting idea. This is a really fun format to be able to do. Using 3 colors as well is going to be really interesting to see how all of that is going to jive together. And this could be a really cool side event that could be coming our way. Now, it's going to be interesting to see also how popular this particular format is. Now, of course, drafting in card games has always been a really big deal in formatting, and especially a lot of people get excited, especially getting all these packs, trying to create a deck, and seeing how you do against other people who do the same. And there's multiple forms of drafting, of course. If you played Magic the Gathering especially, you know the few different ways that they could do. But the Super Sealed is a very interesting idea, and I'm excited to see how it's going to go, and I love that you also can expand into 3 colors as well instead of the 2. But this next one is very interesting of a format because it is triple deck constructed, and this is gonna be interesting because you play 3 core constructed decks with all 6 inks represented. So you have a choice on how you want to combine all those, but essentially all 6 inks need to be used. And they're going to be best of 3 matches with best of 5 in the grand finals. And players review their opponent's decks before the match and then decide who goes first in game 1. That's probably just going to be with die roll, not like, hey, would you like to go first? Nah, I insist. You go first. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be just a die roll kind of thing is my assumption there. Now, using ink-paired tokens representing each deck, each player secretly chooses one of their opponent's decks to bench, meaning that they won't have to play against it. Players then choose simultaneously reveal an ink pair token for their decks they will be playing in Game 1. After Game 1, the player who lost has the option to switch their deck to the other remaining deck to play for Game 2, or they can play the same deck that they lost with in Game 1. They also have the option of who goes first in Game 2, rightfully so. Now, at the same time, the player who won Game 1 must win with the remaining non-bench deck to win the match. If the player who lost Game 1 wins Game 2, then a deciding third match will be played with the remaining deck on both sides to see who will win the match. A player wins the match when they win a game with both non-bench decks, and in the grand finals, there will be no benched decks, and the finalists must win with all 3 decks to win the entire tournament. And this is going to be exciting. This is going to be also a really cool side event, to be able to see how this goes. My only worry here, though, is that this could very well be an expensive format. And the thing is, as well, I think this will also be kind of the deterrent because, yeah, unless you're really a diehard fan, a lot of people even only really can't afford one deck, especially when you're looking at paying around 2 to 500 for a competitive deck in the meta. That can be a very difficult thing to have to be able to fork over. Now, me, of course, I'm obsessed with the game. I have pretty much all the meta cards in that case, and I could easily build these three kinds of decks without any rollover on that as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see how popular this kind of format is. But I absolutely love this idea, really testing how you're, one, able to pilot each and every individual deck. And that comes with a lot of game knowledge, strategy, and knowing also your opponent's decks and things of that nature as well. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this will go. And this could be a really fun format in other, side events and things of that nature at DLCs and at challenge, all of that stuff as well. And so this will be really cool, and I'm excited to see how big this could get. But I also feel like that because of this format, I don't think it will be initially, at least, the biggest format out there. The sealed one, though, on the other hand, I feel like will be a really big one that a lot of people will be flocking to as well. So how do you feel about these two new formats coming into the game? What format are you maybe going to try, or are you just not going to try these game formats at all? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, guys, have a good one.